Hello, I'm here to do my last speech, my tribute speech, and I'm back home, so my audience member is my boyfriend. So, I want to start my speech off by giving a quote by Reese Witherspoon. She said, "My grandmother was one of the biggest inspirations of my life. She taught me how to be a real woman, to have strength and self-respect, and to never give those things away." So I think that obviously gives away who I'm doing for my tribute speech, my own grandmother. Her name is Dorothy Campbell. And I'm going to just go over some things that she did in her young life and when I knew her, or growing up knowing her, and then her life after my grandfather passed away that it really inspires me about her, so that's why I picked her for this tribute speech. So she was born on December 7th, 1930, so she's 86 years old. She's definitely getting up there, but by meeting her, you would not be able to tell. A couple funny things about her when she was growing up. One of the things I love about her is her curiosity. And when she was 5 or 6, she collected chicken poop from their chicken coops. And so I thought that was a pretty funny story that I wanted to share about her. Another thing that I love about her that really I think I maybe got from her was her love for nature. When she was younger, she used to always explore her pasture that she lived on and always climbed trees with her brothers when she was younger. And so I really like that about her. She also thought that her education was very important, and she loved reading, and I think that I also get that from her. I'm always loving to learn new things, and I also love to read. She was kind of a wild thing in her younger years. When she was in high school, she would do things like tell her parents that she was going to the movies with her girlfriends, and she would sneak out of the movies after they dropped her off to go hang out with her boyfriends at the time. And then another thing that she did when she was in college with her nursing school co-students, I guess, she and they would go on the rooftop of the hospital that they were doing their clinicals in, and they would bathe completely topless on the top of this roof. And knowing my grandma now, that puts a funny image in my head, but I just thought that was hilarious to hear about a woman that I can't see doing stuff like that. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about when I was growing up with her, things that she did that I loved and didn't love so much. I always loved going to her house. She learned how to play the piano when she was a young girl, and she always played for me and tried teaching me a few times, but I think I also get her stubbornness from her, and so that didn't work out too well. Anytime we went over to her house, she always made chocolate pudding. It was always chocolate pudding with whipped cream on top. All the time, every time we went over there. In the mornings before school, when I was in elementary school and all the way through high school, up until I started driving myself to school, I would go over to her house in the mornings, and she would cook these big breakfasts. She always had a thing for feeding people. She would cook these big breakfasts, and then she would drive me to school. And some of the things that I didn't love about her so much growing up was when she would comb my hair. My hair got so ratty so easily, and she would comb through and she didn't care if there were rats or not. She just ripped right through them, and I had a pretty tender head, so when she did that, I didn't like that. And then whenever we got splinters, it was always between the cousins known that we didn't want to tell Grandma, because she would get out her little needle kit and she would pick the splinters out, and it hurt, and then she would pour this stuff on it so that they didn't get infected, which hurt even more. And so that was a couple things that she did that I didn't really love growing up. But majorly, the thing that I loved most about my grandmother was her life after my grandpa passed away. He passed away about 20 years ago, and she's just been really independent after his death. She mows her own lawn, she painted the outside of her house by herself, and she's really involved in her community. So that's my grandma, and that is who inspires me, and I hope you've enjoyed my speeches this semester. Thank you.